Hi, equivalent fractions, page 44. Looking at grade G now, question 2. You're given something like this. This is question 2. 3 over 11 is how much out of 22? Again, this was done in the previous unit. As you can see, from 11 to 22, just double up. So 3 times 2 becomes 6, so that's equivalent. Do a couple more. 3 out of, we don't know yet, is 15 over 25. As you can see, the 3 is linked to the 25 by being denominators. So how do you get from 3 to 15? Answer, you multiply by 5. So what number multiplied by 5 gives you 25? The answer is 5. Could have done it a different way. You could have said 3 over something equals 15 over 25. Since we want to work out what's here, you could have said, well, 15 divided by 5 gives you 3. So 25 divided by 5 will give you 5. Either way, get the same answer as that, so it's not a problem, is it? Back to blue. Enough of that. Question 6 is nice. Sophie says that 0.4 over 0.5 equals 4 over 5. Is that correct, basically? That's the question. Is she correct? Explain your answer. Yes, she is. Well, look, what she's done, she's taken the 0.4, multiplied that by 10, and she's taken the 0.5 and multiplied that by 10. And if you multiply the top and bottom by the same number, then that creates an equivalent fraction in the same way that we multiply the top and bottom by 2 to get an equivalent fraction over here. So 0.4 times 4, 0.4 times 10 is 4, and 0.5 times 10 is 5. Therefore, these are equivalent fractions. Just spell it for you. Equivalent fractions. Alright, that's that. Question 7. Which fraction is the odd one out in each list? Well, I'm going to do one of them only. So let's just write down this one here. This is 7a. I've got 2/3. I've got 3/4. I've got 6. Sorry, I've got 4/6. I skipped to the other one there. I've got 4/6. And I've got 6/9. Well, if I study this really carefully, I have got 4/6 can be simplified down to 2/3, and 3 goes into 6 twice, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. Therefore, I've got 2/3 there, I've got 2/3 there, and I've got 2/3 there. So the odd one out is 3/4, because it is not equal to 2/3. Alright, end of. Question 9. I've got to write something in order now. Alright, just work on the wing, I think. I've got to write these in order. I've got 5 over 6. I have got 3, what's that? I can't really tell in this light. 3/18. Alright, very nice. I have got 1/3. And I have got 4/9. Now, I have a little examiner hint on the right hand side there saying change it all into 18ths. Well, I'd like to change them all into the same denominator. 6, 18, 3 and 9, well, they all go into 18. So the lowest common multiple is 18. So 3 over 18 is not going to change, is it? Sorry, it meant to be an 18. 1 out of 3 is how much out of 18? Well, that's 6. 4 out of 9, how much out of 18? Double it up. That's 8. And 5 out of 6, how much out of 18? We'll just multiply by 3, 15. Now we can write it in order. Starting with, doesn't say. I'm going to start with the smallest. So first is that one. Oops, let's go for red, so it stands out. That is the smallest. After 3 becomes 6/18. That's the second one. 8/18. Third one, and last of all, that one. So who's first? Write it in order now. We've got 3/18. Next one, and that's gone. It's a third. That's gone. 4/9. That's gone. Done that one. And finally, we're going to have 5/6. There you go. All in order, from smallest to biggest. All right. Question 10 looks a little bit crafty. I may as well do it while I'm at it. I've got a half, equals A over something, which equals 2 lots of B over something, which equals something over 2x. Now, if it's all based on a half, these are equivalent fractions. So, A over 2A, if I cancel the A's, I end up with 1, so it's 1 over 2. If I cancel the B's, I put a B underneath, I end up with just 2 on top. So 2 over 4 is a half, isn't it? Then we can just cancel the B's. So in your mind, you're sort of doing that, aren't you? And you're sort of doing that with the A's. Alright, so B into B is once, and B into B is once. You're left with 2 over 4, you're left with 1 over 2, and that's 1 over 2. In the same way, to be left with half on its own, you just need to multiply it by x, and you just cancel the x's. X goes into himself once, and x goes into himself once. You're left with 1 over 2. 2 times 1 is still 2. So at the end of the day, all of these are a half. Beautiful, no more of that. Question 13 looks disgusting, so I think I'll have a go. It says, find a fraction between 3/4, okay, working in blue, question 13a, between 3/4 and 5/6. Well, the lowest common multiple is going to be 12. Let's just see if we can up it to 12. So that's going to go out of 12, and so is that. Well, we can double up the 5, can't we? Get 10 out of 12. We can multiply the 9 by 3, and to get 9 over, sorry, the 3 by 3 to get 9. So you're multiplying tops and bottoms by 3. That doesn't help really. So let's just double up and get them out of 24. 24, 2 9s, 18. And these are all equivalent, aren't they? Double up, that's going to be 20 over 24, and now we can see quite clearly that between 18 24ths and 20 24ths we have 19 24ths, and therefore that's a fraction that sits comfortably between 3/4 and 5/6. And with that I will definitely stop, and we'll catch you later.